welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kiki.
And today we are looking at a story called Joseph and His Brothers.
Ooh.
So this is one of the many stories that comes from the Bible. And actually there's probably a lot of stories that you might have heard that are also Bible stories. Like, for example, Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah, the one with Noah that builds an ark, getting ready for a big flood.
Gets all of the animals, saves all of the animals from the flood by taking them on that ark.
I think I know. Oh, there's the story about Adam and Eve.
Ah, yes, of course, the first two people. So,
That's right.
Yeah. And I know the story David and Goliath. That always made me, because I was always small, but it made me feel I could stand up to bigger bullies because David stands up to the giant Goliath.
So a lot of these stories from the Bible actually inspires people in their daily lives. Maybe it encourages them through these stories, right? These everyday people that are doing extraordinary things.
That's right. Most of these stories have some sort of lesson involved in them, so there's something you can learn about life and about maybe how you should try to live your life.
Okay, well, today we are going to learn about Joseph and his brothers. Now, I don't think Joseph has a really good relationship with his brothers.
Well, maybe not, but we're going to find out when we get into part one today after this.
Joseph had many older brothers. They were jealous of him. Their father loved Joseph the most and even gave him a many-colored coat. Joseph was special. He could understand the messages in dreams.
Hello everyone, today we are looking at a story called Joseph and His Brothers. So let's take a look.
Joseph had many older brothers. They were jealous of him.
Oh, really? I would always be jealous of my older brothers. I'm surprised that the older brothers are jealous of the younger brother because, usually it's like the older siblings get to do what they want. They get to, they get to drive before you, they get to do fun things, they get to stay out late, and usually the younger sibling, which I was the younger sibling, I would feel jealous of my older sister.
So I wonder why his older brothers were jealous of him.
Their father loved Joseph the most, and even gave him a many-colored coat. Okay, so he's got His father loves him so much that he gave him a fancy many-colored coat.
So the other brothers didn't get any?
They just have a single-colored coat, maybe.
Joseph was special. He could understand the messages in dreams. So maybe because of his special skill, the special thing that he has to be able to depict messages, maybe that's why his father paid more attention to him?
Well, yeah, if he is special, and maybe he deserves more love. So in this case, message refers to the symbolism or meaning of the dreams. Okay, it's time to go to Tina.
Hello, I'm Tina. 今天要来讲约瑟和他的兄长。故事出自于旧约圣经。约瑟有多位兄长，他们都很嫉妒他，因为父亲最疼爱约瑟，甚至送给他一件彩衣。约瑟他很特别哦，他可以理解梦中的寓意。我们来看看单字 message 名词，含义、寓意。The movie sent an important message about kindness. 这部电影传达了一个关于善良的重要寓意。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, and we are back. So we've got a bit of an intro to our story. We know that Joseph has this many-colored coat, but that has made his brothers very jealous.
Well, mainly because having colored clothing back then, the threads are more expensive.
Ah, okay. So he's got a very expensive coat, and that tends to make people jealous if you have expensive, fancy things that they can't afford. All right, let's go to the second part of the story, and we'll be right back.
Once he dreamed about his brothers in a field. Their grain bundles bowed down to Joseph's. When Joseph told his brothers about that, they got angry and didn't want him around. So, when they saw traders passing by one day, they sold Joseph to them. Then they covered Joseph's coat in blood and told their father wild animals killed him.
All right, welcome back. Let's continue on with our story. Once he dreamed about his brothers in a field. Their grain bundles bowed down to Joseph's. Okay, so this is Joseph has dreamed about this, about his brothers in the field. So it's an interesting dream. So it says once he dreamed this. So once is an adverb which means at some time in the past, and it's not a specific time, it just means at some time before now this thing happened. So once he had this dream.
And he dreamed about a field. A field is a noun, and it is talking about an open, grassy area of land, often on a farm for growing crops. Or sometimes in sports, you might think of a flat space full of grass reserved for games. So maybe a soccer field or a football field, rugby field. Example sentence, that field is filled with blooming sunflowers.
All right, so he dreamed that his brother's bundles bowed down to his. So a bundle is a collection of things that are held together and usually are tied or wrapped together with a piece of string or something like that to hold them together. So in this case, we are talking about the brothers' bundles in the field that maybe they have harvested from the field and they are bowing to Joseph's bundle. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but you could maybe think of it as Joseph's bundle is better than his brother's bundles.
Oh, okay, well, let's find out more from the story. When Joseph told his brothers about that, they got angry and didn't want him around. Okay, so clearly how these bundles were, whether they were bowed or not, it obviously made his brothers very upset. They didn't want their grains to bow down to Joseph's. So they got angry and they didn't want him around. They didn't want him to be near them. They didn't want to hang out with him.
Well, they were already jealous of him and his many-colored coat. So this would only add to that anger, that dislike of their brother. So I wonder what they're going to do about that.
Well, before we do that, let's go to Tina.
有一次，约瑟梦见兄长们在田里，而他们的麦捆向约瑟的麦捆低头。当约瑟把这个梦告诉兄长们时，他们非常生气，而且不想再让他待在身边。我们来看看课文里提到的这个单字 once 副词曾经有一次。I once visited that small island with my family. 我曾经和家人一起去过那座小岛。Field 名词田野。The children are playing soccer in the field. 孩子们正在田里踢足球。Bundle 名词捆束。Molly carried a bundle of clothes to the laundromat. Molly 抱着一捆衣服去洗衣店。Laundromat 就是洗衣店。文法的部分 Dream about 梦见 About 可以用 of 来替换。举例来说 Last night I dreamed about flying over mountains. 昨晚我梦见自己飞越群山。Bow down 鞠躬低头行礼。后面常用 to 来接受词。Bow 是鞠躬的意思。Everyone bowed down to the king. 所有人都向国王鞠躬行礼。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, and we are back. So Joseph has just told his brothers this dream and they don't like it and they don't want him around. So when they saw traders passing by one day, they sold Joseph to them. Okay, so they've sold their brother. I didn't even know that was an option. I think if I was a kid and thought I could have sold my sister, I might have considered it. But I didn't know that was something you could do. But I guess Joseph's brothers knew that.
Well, I was going to say, I can't imagine selling my sister, even if I'm really angry with her that day.
Okay, well, we're different people.
Okay, well, here we have pass by. What pass by means is to move past, walk near, or go by something on your way to somewhere else. And most of the time, you're not really stopping. So we're talking about traders. And back then, and even nowadays, traders, they will go to different places to try to sell the things, sell the wares that they have. So they don't have a set location. So Joseph's brothers must have seen these traders. They were passing by on their route to wherever they were going. And that's when they thought it was a great opportunity to sell Joseph to them, okay, as they were passing by. Well, here we have an example sentence. I saw the garbage truck pass by my house before I got through the door. And I didn't get to throw my garbage.
Well, that's your fault for not being ready.
That's right. Okay, back to our story. Then they covered Joseph's coat in blood and told their father wild animals killed him.
Oh no, so their father is going to just think that Joseph has died and that he's gone forever. And I guess if he's been traded away, been sold away, maybe he is gone forever.
Wow, so Joseph's brothers, not only did they trade him off, sell him to these traders, they also lied to their father about Joe getting murdered by animals.
Well, at least they didn't kill him because they did tell their father that he has died.
But can you imagine Joseph's father, who loves him the most out of all his sons, and to see the coat that he gave Joseph covered in blood? That must have been very scary for him.
Yeah, I bet it was. All right, well, let's go to Tina.
有一天，约瑟的兄长看到商人们经过时，便把约瑟卖给了他们。后来，兄长们把约瑟的彩衣沾满血，并告诉父亲，野兽把约瑟吃掉了。我们来看看文法重点 ：pass by 经过、路过，这是一个不可以分的片语动词。举例来说 ，Many cars pass by our house every morning。每天早上都有许多车子经过我们家。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, thanks, Tina. All right, that is all the time for today. So let's review the story again, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Joseph had many older brothers. They were jealous of him. Their father loved Joseph the most and even gave him a many-colored coat. Joseph was special. He could understand the messages in dreams. Once, he dreamed about his brothers in a field. Their grain bundles bowed down to Joseph's. When Joseph told his brothers about that, they got angry and didn't want him around. So, when they saw traders passing by one day, they sold Joseph to them. Then, they covered Joseph's coat in blood and told their father wild animals killed him.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，message 名词，含义、寓意 ；once 副词，曾经有一次 ；field 名词，田野 ；bundle 名词，捆束。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，dream about 梦见 ，Laurie dreamed about her old childhood home， 或者你也可以说 Laurie dreamed of her old childhood home。Laurie 梦见她儿时的老家。Bow down 鞠躬低头行礼。Rue bowed down to the god at the temple. Rue 对庙里的神明下拜。Pass by 经过路过。 Melody passes by the art museum on her way to work. Melody 在上班途中经过那间美术馆。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, 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 it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Have you ever wondered, what do animals wear?
Not clothes like us, but feathers, fur, or even scales.
So today we're at the zoo and we're going to show you the English words for animal coverings.
All birds are covered in feathers.
Sometimes the feathers help them to stay warm, or it helps them fly.
Animals like bears, monkeys, and rabbits, they all have fur. Their fur keeps them warm in the winter.
Some animals have scales. Those are the hard plates on the outside of the animal's skin. Some animals include reptiles, fish, or even snakes, and also the only mammal in the world with them, pangolins. Well, now you know some cool English words to describe different animal coverings, like feathers, fur, or even scales.
Each one of these coverings help animals survive in their own special way.
That's all we have for today. Remember to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English but you just don't know how. Kiki, anything else you want to say?
Oh, I'm really hot. Let's go look for the polar bears.
Kiwi later!